The Delta Force is a special operations force of the United States Army, under operational control of the Joint Special Operations Command. Most Delta Force operators are selected from the United States Army Special Operations Command's Elite Special Forces groups and the 75th Ranger Regiment, as well as from other special operations and conventional units. On June 29, 2006, during a session of the Committee on Armed Services, General Wayne Downing testified before the U.S. House of Representatives that the Delta Force is probably 70% Rangers who have come out of either a Ranger to Special Forces track or directly from the Ranger Regiment to Delta. Selection is held twice a year, March to April and September to October, at Camp Dawson, West Virginia, and lasts 4 weeks. Eric Haney's book Inside Delta Force described the selection course and its inception in detail. Haney wrote that the selection course began with standard tests including push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run, an inverted crawl and a 100-meter swim fully dressed. The candidates are then put through a series of land navigation courses to include an 18-mile all-night land navigation course while carrying a 40-pound rucksack. The rucksack's weight and the distance of the courses are increased and the time standards to complete the task are shortened with every march. The physical testing ended with a 40-mile march with a 45-pound rucksack over rough terrain that had to be completed in an unknown amount of time. This is also colloquially known as the Lung Walk. Haney wrote that only the senior officer and NCO in charge of selection are allowed to see the set time limits, but all assessment and selection tasks and conditions were set by Delta training cadre. The mental portion of the testing began with numerous psychological exams. The men then went in front of a board of Delta instructors, unit psychologists, and the Delta commander, who each asked the candidate a barrage of questions and then dissect every response and mannerism of the candidate with the purpose of mentally exhausting the candidate. The unit commander then approaches the candidate and tells him if he has been selected. If an individual is selected for Delta, he undergoes an intense 6-month operator training course, OTC, to learn counterterrorism and counterintelligence techniques, in which the individual maintains little contact with friends and family for the duration. Training includes firearm accuracy and various other weapons training. According to Eric Haney, the unit's operator training course, OTC, is approximately 6 months long. While the course is constantly changing, the skills taught broadly to include the following. The trainees shoot without aiming at stationary targets at close range until they gain almost complete accuracy, then progress to moving targets. Once these shooting skills are perfected, trainees move to a shooting house and clear rooms of enemy targets, first 1 only, then 2 at a time, 3, and finally 4. When all can demonstrate sufficient skill, hostages are added to the mix. trainees learn how to pick many different locks, including those on cars and safes, advanced demolition, and bomb making using common materials. The FBI, FAA, and other agencies were used to advise the training of this portion of OTC. The new Delta operators used demolition and marksmanship at the shoot house and other training facilities to train for hostage and counter-terrorist operations with assault and sniper troops working together. They practiced terrorist or hostage situations in buildings, aircraft, and other settings. All trainees learn how to set sniper positions around a building containing hostages. They learn the proper ways to set up a DOC and communicate in an organized manner. Although Delta has specialized sniper troops, all members go through this training. The students then go back to the shoot house and the hostages are replaced with other students and Delta Force members. Live ammunition is known to have been used in these exercises, to test the students and build trust between one another. And other skills also taught during the training such as tradecraft, executive protection, and culmination exercise. In an interview, former Delta operator Paul Howe talked about the high attrition rate of the Delta selection course. He said that out of his two classes of 120 applicants each, only 12 to 14 completed the selection. The Central Intelligence Agency's highly secretive Special Activities Center, and more specifically its Special Operations Group, often works with and recruits former operators from Delta Force.